Enhance your experience by becoming a supporting member. Gain access to unseen videos and video requests. 3-day free trial by visiting zionmembership.com. Chosen ones, empaths. You have to understand the nature of the narcissist that was involved in your life is they make reckless, stupid decisions with their actions. Reckless and stupid, chaotic decisions that they act off a whim. You know, they might have thought it through to some extent, but it's still off a whim. You know, they've decided to, you know, for the relationship to end between you two, however they've caused that to come about, you know, whether that was cheating, whether it was lying, whether it was some other form of betrayal. You know, they basically broke and tore down everything that you built up between yourselves, right? Over something that was worthless, you know? And, you know, immediately after, I'm not trying to trigger any of you now, but they do think they made the right decision immediately after. This is why you honestly need to let them go. As hurtful and as painful as that might be, you know, you may have spent a long time with this individual. They may have been a big part of your life, you know, but honestly speaking, you have to learn to let people make their own way in life, and they will realize very quickly. And, you know, it only takes a matter of days, weeks, or months, depends on the narcissist, right? But very short space of time, really. You know, they can't be alone. They will go out with these new suppliers. They'll meet new suppliers very quickly. They'll remember that you've got to take into an account that they've got a bit of a sense of misjudgment. I don't know a better way I can put it. Because they're used to, you know, the love and everything that you poured into them, they got kind of conditioned to believe that they deserve this type of treatment wherever they go, and they can find it easily because it was so regularly available from you. They believe that somehow they're deserving of this. They wasn't actually viewing the love that you gave to them at the time as if it was an asset and a real positive trait that you possessed. You know, they might have seen it like that way in the early days of the relationship, during the love bomb. They might have seen, wow, this person, you know, they've got so much to give. They might have seen that, but, you know, they began to take that for granted through the relationship, so much so that it faded to the point that they believed that they just deserved this type of treatment that you used to offer them. So they make these reckless decisions, you know, to tear down relationships, to break it. I called the video Discard, but this could be that you cut the narcissist off, or it could be the narcissist discarded you. It doesn't really matter. It's all about what happens after the ending, basically. What happens after the ending of the relationship. And you have to realize this decision to end it with you was a reckless, hasty decision, right? And full force, they'll realize their actions very soon after. And this is why I say it's about letting go. It's about letting them make their own way. You need them to actually meet other people. You need them to get involved in other relationships for them to realize their faults. Now, I'm not going to promise you that the narcissist is going to, you know, when they realize their faults, they're gonna pour their heart out to you with a declaration of love. In some cases, that does happen. You know, I have spoken to people where the narcissist has, you know, realized the error of their ways and, you know, tried to hoover them back in very, you know, with a declaration of love kind of way, right? But many other narcissists are so stubborn, the ones that are involved in your life, that when they make this mess of their lives and they go on to these other situations, they honestly don't know how to get back to the position they were in previously, you know, because they're so stubborn. And you know, they don't know how to say sorry properly, they don't know how to apologize, they don't know how to reconcile, you know, and they're very stubborn, and they don't want to let down, you know, they don't want to lose the power dynamic that they have, you know, over you. They would much rather you be under the impression that they're living happily ever after than you under the impression, because they know that it's a threat for them. If they open up that they've made a mistake, they're not enjoying this new supply, they've made a mistake, they're already aware that you may not take them back anyway, but they're also aware that they may face rejection. And that's what often keeps the narcissist in a bind and prevents them from opening up to you, because they're scared of the rejection they may face. Please press the like and the subscribe button, help you up right. It'll take 2 seconds of your time. Just like this video showed up for you, help it show up for someone else in the community that it may be of benefit to. Just to bring to your attention, I'm running one-to-one sessions. If that's something of interest to you and you'd like me to shed some light and us to bounce off each other on your situation, you can always reach out for a session with the link in the description box. Going back to the video, you know, this causes a huge amount of distress, because they're aware of every passing day, right? They're aware that every passing day is another day away from you. You know, they're aware that they're aware of the time scale between yourselves. You see this time scale that exists in your mind, where you might be going, okay, it's been a month, or it's been 6 months, or it's been a year, or it's been 2 years. Like, you're aware of this time scale, right? They're also aware of the time scale. They're also aware of the time apart. They're also consciously aware of this, right? They haven't forgotten about you, right? And they've actually got more reminders, especially if you haven't moved on. You know, if you haven't moved on, you might feel like, oh, they've moved on, they're forgetting about you because they've moved on. That's actually, you know, it's looking at it from a, you know, you've got to look at this from another perspective, you know, because they've actually moved on, you know, that actually gives them more reminders of you, right? And you'll know about that. You'll know that experience if you have rushed on. If you are someone who's rushed on after the relationship with the narcissist very soon, you may have been with someone new and you would have felt an emptiness. You would have felt that you miss the narcissist because you're not properly healed. And they're not exempt from feeling these sorts of feelings. That's what you've got to understand. They are in a miserable state. And they've thrown themselves deep into these relationships, you know, sometimes getting married or engaged, or, you know, doing things very quickly, you know, to try and cover the wound that they're feeling, that they're experiencing, this void that they have, which is you. And they try their utmost to distract themselves with someone new. But when this person is everything that you're not, right? And I mean that in a sense. Sometimes I say that and I think that it might be misinterpreted. What I mean is, they have reminders that this person is not you, you know, constantly, day in and day out. This person doesn't love like you. This person isn't loyal like you. This person isn't empathetic like you. This new supply isn't as caring as you. This new supply doesn't make them feel the same way that you did, right? So they have these reminders with this new supply, you know? So you have to understand they are in a lot of distress every day about being with this new supply, right? And they're also conscious that you might meet someone, you know, who's loving and loyal and kind and empathetic and pure, and that's a real concern for them. And that's often why narcissists will leave you confused at the end of the relationship. They'll often leave you confused, or you know, lack of closure, because they want to keep you under that spell. You know, they want to keep you on the shelf. They want to keep you waiting for them. You know, however the relationship ended, they want to keep you under the illusion that, you know, they're the best person for you. And, you know, honestly, they're not. That's what this is all about. And what you got to take from it is they make these hasty, reckless decisions to, you know, inflict pain on your life, to ruin a relationship that you thought was decent. You know, they make these decisions to, you know, break something that you thought was special apart. And they do it for some dusty new supply, you know, or because they had narcissistic injuries inflicted. You know, they ruin something, and it's something they have to live with. You know, this is why a few months out, or even a year out, you know, you got to realize, like, it takes some time for it to hit full effect. They would experience this regret, this self-absorbed regret that they're not feeling the same, but they're so stubborn. You know, this is why I've spoken to people that have had hoovers after years apart, even decades apart, right? And this proves that you as the empath was still weighing on the mind of the narcissist even after years apart, right? Or decades even, that I've seen in the comment section, right? And this is how long it actually takes them to overcome their stubbornness and actually put themselves in a vulnerable position sometimes. So that's why none of you should really wait on the hoover. You know, you shouldn't really wait on the hoover. It is what it is. It's going to come at a time that surprises you, you know, and it often comes at a time when the universe and God knows that you're going to reject them, and you kind of take the hoover as a closure. You see the narcissist reach out, and you're like, God, it's been X amount of time. This narcissist is reaching out, and however they do it, whether it's for a fake profile, you know, whether they call you or text you or whatever, they reach out after a substantial amount of time. And you're like, this person is delusional, you know, and it's like, you're so disengaged from the relationship because you've been healing correctly. You've been taking the appropriate steps day by day, you see, whereas they've just been trying to heal through someone else, you know? And yeah, it just, you don't want to engage with them, you know? That's often why the hoover will come at a time when you're ready, when God or the universe knows that you're not going to willingly accept that hoover, you know? So you got to understand that this narcissist is in distress every day after discard because of you. They do think about you an awful lot. They do ruminate you about you an awful lot. You have to be aware that sometimes when you're thinking about them, it's actually because they're thinking about you, right? You have to be conscious of that through the soul ties. You have to realize that you are connected, and you thinking about them is because you're weighing heavily on their minds. And you have to take into account, with the age of social media, I know not all of you are on social media, but many of you are on social media. With the age of social media and them able to look into your life, you might say they're blocked or whatnot, but they create fake profiles. You know, they create fake profiles. They to look at what's going on in your life, you know, or you might have already had a follower or something in your account that was there from before, and it was really them, you know, from when the relationship was still running. You know, they find ways to keep watch on you. So this also, you know, this also gives them supply. So it's like they're enjoying looking at your world, you know, but then when they're seeing you doing well, you know, that causes them hurt and pain. But that's why it's often why, You know, it's all about your recovery and where you go with your life. You know, it's all about improving. It's all about bettering your life. It's all about aiming higher. You know, you've got to understand that whatever this person was during this relationship you had, I mean, you've got to aim so much higher. You've got to raise the bar so much higher for your next relationship. You've got to raise the bar in all aspects of life. Really look for self-improvement, you know, self-improve. And so, you know, when they're watching you, this will irritate them, you know, this will really irritate them. But this all causes them distress, you know. As much as they get relief and supply from looking at your life, it also distresses them, you know. You must know how it feels like looking at the narcissist. You might know how it feels like if you look at the narcissist social media. You know, it distresses you. It can cause distress. They have a way into your world. So you have to realize that although they're getting a supply from looking at you, and they feel stimulated by spying on you, it also backfires on the person that's doing the spying. You know, it hurts the person that's spying more than it hurts the person who's being spied on, because they'll see things that they didn't want to see. You know, they could see you in a new relationship, or they could see you doing well, or they could see you, you know, achieving things, succeeding, starting a business, you know, really striving for success, you know, and that will cause a lot of pain in them. And this all adds into the effect of the distress that they're going to feel, you know. So this immediate feeling that they had, you know, when the relationship first ended and they went to the new supply, that's all faded and died out, you know. You know, it's so common for even non-narcissistic people to think about their former partner. You know, there's so many relationships in the world now that people are together and they're still thinking about their former partner. And narcissists aren't exempt from going through this process. You see, it's almost like the information that's put out about narcissists is like, oh, they don't think about their former supply. Of course they think about their former supply, especially when their former supply is better than the new supply, right? Clearly, because it's highly likely that with another toxic individual, they can't extract supply. You know, you had empathy, you had love, you had loyalty, you had care. You've done everything you could possible for this person, right? All they've got is positive memories of you, right? Yeah, you're not perfect. Yeah, you may have made some mistakes, but majority of the time, you've done good, decent things for them, right? That's what they've got to remember you for. What you remember them about is the pain they caused you, is the hurt they caused you, is the, you know, is all of them things, right? So it's a totally different thing. But this is, they remember these things, you know, and they know they're the one that fucked up the relationship. They know they're the one that ruined it, right? You know, so it's their loss, you know. So just understand that they are in a lot of distress day in and day out from losing you. You weigh heavily on their minds. You weigh heavily on their minds when they're with these new suppliers. You don't need to really worry about a thing. Honestly, by letting them go, letting them make their way, putting up no resistance, not begging for them back, not pleading with them, letting them go into these new relationships, as long as you know in your heart of hearts you're never going to let them back in again, that's the main thing, right? And let them go on to these new suppliers, because that's when they're going to realize, that's the only time they really realize, is when they run into a new supplier and a new supplier is not like you. You know, they could trust you. They could rely on you. They could count on you. They knew you loved them. They knew you cared about them. They don't feel the same way and the same connection with these new suppliers. They don't feel the same way. They haven't got the same connection they shared with you. There was a solid bond from your side of things that you created with them. They felt that. They don't feel that with the new supply. You know? So this is what causes them a lot of distress. You know, knowing that you're in the world. And it's hard for them to get back to you. If not, you know, they can't get back to you because you're going to reject them, or you're not going to entertain them. you know, this causes them a lot of distress. So anyway, to enhance your experience and have access to a gallery of exclusive unseen videos and a chance to reach out to me personally for video requests ideas you have, there's a 3-day free trial that can easily be cancelled at any time by going to your Zion account page. All video requests are processed and uploaded within 24 hours from when request was submitted. A link to the Zion membership website will appear on your screen now. Thanks for listening today. Please press the like and the subscribe button. If you want to donate, you don't have to, but if you'd like to support the channel, you can. Links in the description box below. For more narcissism-based content, check out our other channel, links in the description box. Please visit the forums. One of them is Tips to Heal, and I'd love to find out what helps you on your journey. Please book a healing session with me if you need advice or some light shed on your situation. The Empath Monthly group meeting is coming up at the end of the month. Limited space is available. There's a WhatsApp group for survivors to stay in touch. I'm also doing email consultations if you need a plan of action. The links for all I've mentioned are in the description box below. If you'd like to know more about narcissists keep watch, hoovers come when they see you doing well, click this video here. So anyway, I'll be back with another video soon. Peace.